Governor and Attorney General announcing a lawsuit today against the Trump administration after the president invoked Title X to deploy the National Guard into Portland. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the 10 o'clock news. I'm Pete Ferryman.
And I'm Ward Jollis. The Trump administration says Title X of the United States Code provides the legal framework for the president to deploy National Guard troops and reserve members. It's also the same code that Trump invoked in California back in June and in Washington, D.C. last month. Oregon's Attorney General also sharing today that his office has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration in an attempt to block the deployment.
This all started with a post on Truth Social yesterday. President Trump directing the Secretary of War to send troops to, quote, protect war-ravaged Portland and any of our ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other domestic terrorists. And he authorized full force if necessary.
We have team coverage tonight as multiple rallies against the Trump administration happen here in Portland.
Fox 12's Julia Lopez is live after speaking with protesters at the 50-51 rally that started at the Portland waterfront today. But first, we go to Fox 12's Adrian Thomas at the ICE facility in South Portland, where protesters continue to voice their opposition to the Trump administration. Adrian, what does it look like there now?
Well, Pete, there is a lot less people. There are a lot less. There are a lot less people here than there were earlier today. There were about 200 or so people when the protest was at its peak in the late afternoon and early evening. About 200 or 300 people out here voicing their opposition to the National Guard deployment in Portland. Here's a look at the scene right now. There's probably a little bit less than 100 people here at the moment. But tensions flared earlier between federal law enforcement and protesters. Anytime the gates were opened at the ICE facility and a vehicle entered or left, in some of our video, DHS agents can be seen pushing protesters back and even using pepper spray to try and disperse the crowd. Additionally, once night fell, a smaller group of counter-protesters gathered supporting ICE and President Trump's surge of federal forces in Portland. Anti-ICE protesters surround and confronted pro-ICE supporters, ultimately prompting Portland police who were nearby to defuse the situation. We did just get information from PPB that one arrest was made on suspicion of assault in the third degree near the ICE facility. So that was likely tied to the altercation that we saw. However, we don't know who that man is at this time. But as of right now, much smaller crowd out here at the ICE facility off of South McAdam Avenue in South Portland. We'll continue to monitor the situation over the next hour and bring you any updates. Pete, Ward.
Adrian, you mentioned that the tensions seem to escalate whenever federal agents try to access the property, in their vehicles. Have you seen any problems at other times when that's not happening?
Not really. It's mostly earlier in the day, much peaceful protest that we saw, just a lot of chanting, a lot of people speaking. As night fell, even though the crowd started to thin out a little bit, you started to see different factions of people gathering here, whether they were in support of ICE or against ICE, and it was more so them arguing in the street with one another and nearby Portland police officers monitoring the situation. Obviously, we saw that altercation earlier that we just showed you. But as far as confrontations with federal law enforcement and the protesters, really only when the gates came open and vehicles were entering or exiting. But actually, I want to pan over right now because we are seeing some law enforcement out here marching down the street. Looks like that those are federal law enforcement that we are seeing. This is this just happened right now as we're speaking, and we'll just show you right here. So this is just off of South McAdam Avenue, and like we said, this activity, this is the first that we are seeing this activity all day. Really what we saw throughout the day was when was when the gates were opening at the ICE facility. Okay, so I stand corrected. These are actually Portland police officers. So these are Portland police. They are here.
And Adrian, I do want to interrupt you.
These are Portland police here. They are, looks like they are attempting to clear the street out in front of the ICE facility. This is the largest Portland police presence we've seen all day today. We saw some Portland police officers on bikes actively monitoring the situation and getting involved when tensions flared up between the pro-ICE supporters and anti-ICE supporters. Again, this is the first we are seeing Portland police get involved directly on the street here to try and clear out some of the protesters.
Yeah, and Adrian, we are getting word from PPB here in the studio now. A couple announcements. They say they are making targeted arrest for an assault. They are warning protesters there, don't interfere with officers. If you interfere with officers, you may be subject to arrest or use of force. And they're asking everyone to move to the sidewalk. Is that similar to what you are seeing right now, Adrian?
Yes. They have essentially cleared the street out right in front of the ICE facility and are maintaining a presence here. It doesn't look like they're directly questioning anyone right now. Rather, they're answering some questions from some of the protesters. We see one officer kind of right here in front of me. It looks like he has some type of rifle that could deploy pepper balls or non-lethal rounds to try and disperse anyone. But yeah, obviously, this has been a very fluid situation all day. Things have kind of changed on the drop of a hat, and we're seeing that right now with Portland police here, coming off of McAdam Avenue and trying to clear the street out in front of the ICE facility. We're going to continue monitoring this right now.
Yeah, I think Portland police trying to walk a fine line here. They have stated repeatedly that they don't want to be cooperating with immigration and ICE, customs enforcement when it comes to, enforcing immigration law. But at the same time, they need to, enforce the law on the streets when other citizens are impacted. And it looks like that's what they're trying to do there. Adrian Thomas, thank you for the live coverage. We, of course, will keep our eye on the situation and get back to you as needed.
All right, and while protests at the ICE facility remain active, things have quieted down near Waterfront Park, where another large rally was held earlier today.
Fox 12's Julia Lopez was following the rally and spoke with some of the people who attended there. She joins us now live with a look at what she saw there earlier today. Julia?
Well, as we saw tensions rise at the ICE facility, the Portland that I saw represented at today's rally was nothing but peaceful. People gathering downtown to say that the president's words do not represent Portland.
One of the best things about Oregon is that we are a resilient people, and Oregon is home to all of us.
Standing in unity in the face of uncertainty. That's what brought hundreds downtown Sunday. Portlanders.
It's dangerous to begin with. That's not what troops do. But ridiculous to be in Portland. Nothing's going on here.
And elected officials side by side.
Oregonians know this is bull. You are peacefully exercising your constitutional rights.
Telling President Trump they don't want his troops here.
I communicated directly to President Trump that intervention was not necessary in Portland.
Kotek says the president told her he invoked Title 10 to move armed troops into the Rose City.
We don't want troops here. We don't need troops here.
Reina Lopez leaves PCUN, a farm workers union. She says her family came to Oregon to work on a Christmas tree farm when she was a kid and never wanted to leave. This harvest season, things aren't so easy for many.
Any kind of news like this is already having a ripple effect in the community. The rumors are rampant. People don't know. They don't know what to do. They don't know if going to work, leaving their house is the right decision, or if it means they're going to get targeted by someone that should be protecting them.
Sunday's rally was peaceful. A community showing Trump this isn't the Portland you think it is. If you could say something directly to the president about Portland, what would you tell him?
It's not the narrative that you have been told. That's not what's happening here, and it is not worth the resources that you are going to invest to try and get an outcome that you want. This city is stronger than you think it is. We'll be strong in the face of whatever you throw at us.
Well, there's no timeline for when troops might arrive in Portland. The organizations and officials that we spoke with today say they'll continue to organize against any military intervention. Reporting live from downtown Portland, Julia Lopez, Fox 12 Oregon.
All right, Julia, thank you. We want to get back out to a live picture of the ICE facility right now where we're told that someone is currently being arrested by Portland police right now. You can see that on your screen. Unclear exactly who this person is or why they're being arrested, but we did just hear again from Portland police a few minutes ago that they were making a targeted arrest there for an assault. Not sure if this is in any way connected to that, but definitely some developments there tonight.
Yeah, it seems that Portland police have increased their activity here within the last 10 minutes or so. Right when we started the 10 o'clock news here, they started moving through there, issuing that announcement on Twitter to clear the street and get on the sidewalk. Adrian Thomas is there on the scene. Adrian, what are you seeing now?
Yeah, literally just in the last minute or so, we saw Portland police officers make an arrest of a man and take him into a vehicle over there. There's probably about 30 or 40 Portland police officers on scene right now. They literally descended upon the street outside the ICE facility right as we started the 10 o'clock news. You can see them lined up here facing off with protesters. This is the first time we've seen this large of a presence of Portland police officers out here today. Throughout the afternoon during the demonstrations outside the ICE facility, we saw about a dozen or so Portland police officers on bicycles kind of actively monitoring the situation. They were even driven out of the area at one point by protesters. But like we mentioned at the top of the show, we did see that altercation between people who were out here on scene. And Tad, if you want to pan over, we can actually, Tad, our photojournalist, you can actually see some of the federal law enforcement gathering at the gates of the ICE facility, actively monitoring the situation. We don't know if any federal forces are going to come out to the area and work in conjunction with Portland police, but they are at the gates actively monitoring the situation at the moment. It's very tense out here right now. We don't know what the objective is here right now for Portland police, if they're just trying to clear out the area or if they're trying to go after some of the demonstrators who were, causing large confrontations earlier. As you can see, there's another...
Adrian, as we're watching this with you...
Sorry.
No, it's okay. A great job out there. As we're watching this with you, you get the sense that I would imagine Portland police trying to send a message, at least, from what we've heard from the mayor and from the governor, trying to send a message perhaps, to the White House that we have the situation here in Portland under control, and perhaps that's why they're clear the street and not have the federal agents having to take control of Portland streets. So politics at play and visuals at play here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you think the larger kind of political discourse here is that Portland is a sanctuary city. And when a city is a sanctuary city, it means that their local agencies, their local resources, local law enforcement do not assist Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, with their activity. And the fact that Portland police are out here right now facing off with the remaining protesters who are out here and perhaps, working to clear the street and making some arrests. It's quite extraordinary given the political narrative that we've seen between local leaders and the White House.
Yeah, it's one thing to, assist ICE agents in enforcing immigration law. It's another thing to keep the streets of Portland clear, which would fall under their jurisdiction. So again, I think they're walking that fine line here as we look at these live pictures.
And Adrian, I know last night when we were watching these live pictures of the protest, we saw a Black Hawk helicopter. We heard from some neighbors in the area upset about that. And you showed us earlier agents on the roof of the ICE facility. Are those things happening tonight as well?
Yeah, well, because of where we're situated and the lights that are on top of the ICE building, we can't actually get a good look if anyone's on the roof or not. But the Black Hawk helicopter is circling around above us right now. That helicopter has been flying around all evening. So yeah, it's been quite a large presence out here with federal law enforcement and now our local law enforcement. You can see this police van here backing up into the crowd. Yeah, we don't know. We're not seeing anyone right now who's being detained, but this is a very active situation right now. And okay, now it looks like the police officers are pulling back. So we'll let this kind of play out here.
Yeah. And as they leave, it looks like those folks are moving back into the street there.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. We'll have to continue to follow that.
Yeah, the protesters. The protesters have. The protesters out here have filled the streets again, and the police have left the scene. So, a very tense moment that we just watched play out. There's only about 100 protesters here at the moment. It got up to about 200 or 300 earlier today, and was largely peaceful, except when those federal agents came out of the facility to let their vehicles in or out. But some very tense moments here just within the last 15 minutes of Portland police showing up and clearing some of the street and making at least one arrest.
Okay, Portland police making their presence known there. Adrian, we appreciate the live report. Of course, the big news today, Ward, was the fact that that the Attorney General has filed this lawsuit to try to stop the Trump administration. And we are getting that information about the number of arrests. So let's give you that right now. The Portland Police Bureau is saying now that it has made at least 24 arrests since the protests at that ICE building began earlier this evening.
Yeah, and we're still working to get official numbers from federal authorities on that as well right now.